definition of supremum of a set and infimum of a set. Let capital S be a non-empty subset of set of all real number. Let capital S be a non-empty subset of real number. Then first definition, if the set S is bounded above, if the set S is bounded above, then the least upper bound of the set S is said to be supremum of S, and it is written as sup S. Let S be a bounded above set. Since I am saying that S is a bounded above, then I can directly say that it has an upper bound. Now whatever the upper bound the set has, least among all the upper bound, that is, then the least upper bound of the set, least among all the upper bounds, is said to be a supremum of the set S. Is the supremum of the set S. Since the set is bounded above, it has an upper bound. Whatever the upper bounds are there, least among all the upper bound is said to be a supremum of the set S. Supremum of the set S. Means if I say that any real number is a supremum of the set S, means it is the least upper bound. Means smaller than the supremum of S is not an upper bound, because supremum of S is the least upper bound. Least means smallest among all the upper bounds. No other upper bound is smaller than this one. Supremum of S. That is if capital S is bounded above, if capital S is bounded above, then capital M is equal to supremum of the set S if and only if and only if, first condition, this capital M should be least upper bound. Means first it should be upper bound, then I will make a condition for the least. First let us take this one as to be upper bound. Means all the elements of a set S should be less than or equal to M for all S belongs to S. This one says that capital M is the upper bound. Capital M is the upper bound. Now I have to show that this one is the least among all the upper bounds. Means I have to show that no other upper bound is smaller than this one. Now second one, means I have to show that this is the smallest upper bound, least upper bound. Means no other upper bound is there which is smaller than this one. If I take any number smaller than this one, that one should be not an upper bound. Means it should not satisfy this condition. Means I have to show that at least one element in a set is there which is greater than that one. Means whenever M1 is less than capital M, when I am saying this one is the least upper bound, no other upper bound is smaller than this one. Means this one is not an upper bound. This one is not an upper bound means at least one element is there in a set which is greater than M1. if all the elements are less than this one, this should be upper bound. Then this one can't be least upper bound because we got an upper bound less than this one. So when I am saying this one is a least upper bound, means this one is not an upper bound. Then there exists an element S1 belongs to a set S such that M1 is less than S1. If all the elements are less than M1, therefore it will be an upper bound. Since M is the least upper bound, smaller among all the upper bounds, then this one is not an upper bound. This one is not an upper bound means in a set there exists at least one element which is greater than this one. Therefore, if S is bounded above, then we will get an upper bound. Least among all the upper bounds of a set is said to be the supremum of the set capital S, and it is written as supremum of S. In mathematical way, we can say that if S is bounded above, then the real number capital M is said to be supremum, is equal to supremum of S if and only if it is a least upper bound. Means I have to first show that it is an upper bound, means all the elements of a set S is less than or equal to this one. Therefore, capital M is upper bound now. Now I have to show that it is an least, means no other upper bound is smaller than that one. If I take any real number smaller than supremum, least one, therefore it will be not an upper bound, means at least one element is there in a set which is greater than that one. If all the elements are less than this one, it will be an upper bound. Then I got an, in that case we will get an upper bound which is smaller than this one, therefore this will be not an least one. Therefore, if any real number satisfying these two conditions, then we will say that that real number is the supremum of a set. Supremum of a set. In a simple way, we can say that if all the elements are less than or equal to a real number, then the real number is said to be a upper bound. We can get infinite number of upper bounds. Least among all the upper bounds is said to be supremum of a set. Is said to be supremum of a set. Yes. Next definition. If the set S is bounded below, if the set S is bounded below, when I am saying that the set is bounded below, it means it has a lower bound. There are infinite number of lower bound. Every number smaller than lower bound behaves like a lower bound. Therefore, greatest among all the lower bounds is said to be infimum. Then greatest lower bound of a set S is said to be infimum of a set. Yes, and it is written as infimum of the set capital S. That is, in a mathematical way, if I want to say if capital S is bounded below, then small m is equal to infimum of the set S if and only if I can say that small m is the infimum of a set S if it is greatest lower bound. First I have to show that, say that m is the lower bound, then I will say that it is the greatest among all the lower bound. So if and only if first one, it should be an lower bound, means small m is less than or equal to S for all S belongs to S. then if all the elements are greater than or equal to m, then I can say that m is an lower bound. Now second one, whenever, now I have to say that it is an greatest among all the lower bound. Means if I take any real number greater than m, I am saying that this one is the greatest lower bound. Means biggest lower bound, means no other lower bound will be bigger than that one. Therefore, this one will be not a lower bound. If this one is not a lower bound, means at least one element should be there in a set which is less than this one. There exists S1 belongs to a set S such that S1 is less than M1. If all the elements are greater than M1, it will be a lower bound. If this one is a lower bound, then this one can't be a greatest lower bound. Since I am saying that this one is a greatest lower bound, this one can't be a lower bound. Since this one is not a lower bound, means at least one element in a set there which is less than M1. If any real number satisfy these two conditions, first of all it is a lower bound, second thing it is a greatest one, therefore that one is said to be a greatest lower bound and nothing but infimum of a set yes. Now some of the examples of infimum and supremum. Let one, two, three, 4 and 5. Already we have discussed what is the lower bound and upper bound, that is minimum and maximum. This is the minimum and this is the maximum. Now clearly it is, this one is the infimum and this one is the supremum, because first of all this is the lower bound. Now no other real number greater than 1 is a lower bound. If I take 1.5, we got one in a set which is less than 1, therefore that one is not a lower bound. Therefore all the numbers are greater than or equal to 1, therefore 1 is the lower bound as well as it is the greatest lower bound. No other real number greater than 1 is a lower bound, therefore 1 is the infimum. What about the supremum? Similarly with the supremum, all the elements are less than or equal to 5. If I take any real number less than 5, like 4.9, I will get an element in a set that is 5 which is greater than that one. That will be not an upper bound. Therefore 5 is an supremum of a set. If I take example close interval a comma b. All the elements in a set close interval a comma b is greater than or equal to a. If I take a real number greater than a, I will get an element a here which is less than that real number, therefore then that real number is not an lower bound. So the greatest lower bound will be a and the least upper bound, that is supremum, is b. Let us come for open interval a comma b. This means all the elements between a and b, but not a and not b. Now let us come for the lower bound. It has, now what are the lower bounds here? I can take a as a lower bound because all the elements are greater than a here. A is the lower bound. If I take any real number greater than a here, means in this gap there are infinite number of elements in this set which is less than that real number, therefore that real number can't be a lower bound. If I take very near to a also, between that one and A, there are infinite number of real numbers in this set. Therefore, that one will be not an lower bound. So, greatest among all the lower bounds is A. Similarly, let us come for B. If I take a number here, all the real numbers in a set is less than this line. Therefore, it will be an upper bound. If I take B, all the real numbers in a set is less than B. Okay, B is an upper bound, but B is smaller than that one. Now, if I take any real number here as an upper bound, it's not possible because between this one and B there are infinite number of real numbers which lies in this set. Therefore, this one is not an upper bound. Then B is the no real number smaller than B is an upper bound. Then the least upper bound is the element B. Element B. Now let us come for this one, semi-closed interval. Similarly, semi-closed interval, how we have solved this one? Infimum of a set is A and supremum is B. Similarly, say this one as a homework, you can solve. We can solve this one. Now let us go for another example. All those rational numbers such that 0 less than or equal to r less than or equal to under root 2. All those rational numbers between 0 and root 2. In this set, all the elements are greater than or equal to 0. Now, as well as 0 is also belongs to a set. 0 is also belongs to a set. If I take any number which is smaller than 0, that one also behaves like a lower bound, but not an greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound is 0. After 0, if I take any real number, between 0 and that real number, there are infinite number of rational numbers in this set. Like if I take 0.1, between 0 and 0.1 there are infinite number of rational numbers. So 0.1 can't be a lower bound. And no real number greater than 0 is an lower bound for the set. Therefore, the greatest lower bound will be 0. Now, let us come for the supremum. Now, maximum of a set does not exist. Already we have discussed earlier in an example. But it has an upper bound. Root 2 is an upper bound. Any real number greater than root 2 is an upper bound, because if I take any number greater than or equal to root 2, in this set all the numbers are less than or equal to that number. Now, if I take any real number less than this one, less than under root 2 in this set, let us take this one as an upper bound. Then between this one and this one there are infinite number of rational numbers lies between in this set. Therefore, this one can't be an upper bound. If I take very near to under root 2, then also between that two there are infinite number of rational numbers in this set. Therefore, that one can't be an upper bound. If I take this one is an upper bound, but this one is not an least upper bound, because root 2 is also satisfying the condition of upper bound. Therefore, least upper bound is under root 2. Least upper bound is under root 2. Now, let us discuss one more example. The set n to the power of minus 1 to the power of n, where n belongs to set of all natural numbers. Already we have discussed what is this set. This set contains the elements 1 by 5, 1 by 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, so on. Now, where this these all numbers are going. If I draw this 0, let us draw first 1, 2, 3, so on. 2, 4, so on. What about 1 by 3? 1 by 3 is smaller than this one. Here it is 1 by 3. 1 by 5. 1 by 7. 1 by 9. So on. So on. If I take here in the denominator, odd denominator as far as large as possible, then also it won't become 0. If I take 1 by 1000, it will become 0.001, very near to 0. If I take 1 by 10,000, again we will get 0.3001. If I not only 10,000, if I take 1 lakh, then also very near to 0. Therefore, this one behaves, all the elements are greater than 0. This one behaves a lower bound. If I take any real number, this one as an infimum, means greatest to lower bound. Between these two, again I will get an element here. I don't know whether let us take this one as 0.001. 0.001. This one 0.001 can be written as 1 by 1000. After 1 by 1000, here again we will get a number 1 by 1001, 1 by 1009. All the real numbers are before this one. Therefore, it can't be this one can't be a lower bound. In any case, we will get 0 as an infimum of a set. Now, what about the supremum? As large as possible, if I take a number, real number, like 10,000, again, not all the elements are less than 10,000. 10,002 is also a number here which is greater than that one. Instead of 10,000, if I take a 1 lakh, a bigger number, largest number in a set of all real numbers, then after that also again we will get an even number which is greater than that one in this set. Therefore, it has no supremum. It has no supremum. Few more examples in which we are going to find minimum, maximum, infimum and supremum of a set S. Let us write an example. Set of all natural numbers. Set of all natural number is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Minimum of a set is 1. It has no maximum. Infimum, minimum means all the elements are greater than or equal to 1. Therefore, 1 is the minimum. What about supremum? No supremum. If I take as large as possible real number, again I will get an element in this set which is greater than that one. Therefore, no supremum. Now, if I take set of all rational numbers, before 0 and after 0 there are infinite number of rational numbers. Therefore, it has no minimum, no maximum, no infimum, no supremum. Let us discuss a set 1 by n square such that n belongs to set of all natural number and n is greater than or equal to 3. This set is nothing but n is a natural number, starts from 3, means 1 by 3 square, 1 by 4 square, 1 by 5 square, 1 by 6 square, so on. 1 by 3 square, 1 by 4 square, 1 by 5 square, 1 by 6 square, so on. If I want to plot, this one is nothing but, this set is nothing but 1 by 9, 1 by 16, 1 by 25, 1 by 36, so on. If I plot this one, 0, here it is 1, 1 by 9, 1 by 16, smaller than 1 by 9, 1 by 25, again smaller than 1 by 16, 1 by 36, so on. Now you can see that minimum of a set does not exist. The terms are going to get decreased, 1 by 9, 1 by 16, 1 by 25, 1 by 36, so on. There does not exist a smallest element in this set. Next, 1 by 49, 1 by 64, so on. There does not exist a minimum in this set. When it comes for maximum, biggest element in this set is 1 by 9, that is 1 by 3 square. Now let us come for the infimum. First of all, what is the lower bound? If I take 0, all the elements in this set is greater than 0. Therefore, 0 is in lower bound. If I take minus 1, minus 1 is also in lower bound. But if I take this number like 1 by 0.1, sorry, 0.1 after 0, is it a lower bound? 0.1 is nothing but 1 by 10. Before 1 by 10, I will get 1 by 100, that is nothing but 1 by 10 square here. This is 1 by 6 square, 1 by 7 square, 8 square, 9 square, 10 square. I am going to get 1 by 10 square, that is smaller than 1 by 10 here. Then 0.1 can't be a lower bound. If I take any number after 0, that one can't be a lower bound. Therefore, greatest among all the lower bound is 0. All the lower bound is 0. Now, let us come for the supremum. 1 is an upper bound, all the elements are less than 1 is an upper bound. If I take this one, yes, all the elements are less than, if it is an upper bound. If I take this one is also an upper bound. 1 by 9, yes, 1 by 9 is also an upper bound. All the elements are less than or equal to 1 by 9. If I take any real number less than 1 by 9, I am going to get a number here that is 1 by 9, which is greater than that one. This one is not an upper bound. Therefore, in all the cases, 1 by 9 is the least upper bound. 1 by 9. 1 by 9. Now, similarly, let us discuss one more example. Let us take a set, all those real numbers such that x square is less than 10. In this set containing all those real numbers whose square is less than 10. Whose square is less than 10. This set is nothing but, what is this condition? X square is less than 10. Means this one, if I remove the square, it will become plus or minus under root 10, that is minus under root 10 less than x less than under root 10. If I take any real number between these two, its square will be less than 10. Therefore, all the real number between these two lies here. Now, what about the minimum? Minimum does not exist in this set. Similarly, maximum does not exist. No minimum, no maximum. But infimum exists. No real number greater than minus 1 by root 10 is an lower bound, because if I take any real number greater than minus under root 10 is a lower bound, there exists a rational number between that one and minus under root 10, which is whose square is again less than 10 in this set. Therefore, that one can't be a lower bound. In all the cases, we are going to get this one as a greatest lower bound and this one as the least upper bound. least upper bound. Note, first one, if a set S has maximum, if a set has maximum, then maximum of a set S is the supremum of the set S. Second one, if a set S has minimum, then minimum of a set S is infimum of a set S. Infimum of a set S. Third one, every set S that is bounded above possesses a least upper bound, that is supremum exists. If a set is bounded above, means I am saying that it is an bounded above, means it has an upper bound. If it has an upper bound, then it has an least among all the upper bounds is said to be in supremum. Since it has an upper bound, therefore its least upper bound exists, that is supremum exists. Similarly for the infimum, every set S that is bounded below possesses a greatest lower bound, that is infimum exists. Infimum exists. Archimedean property. This property we are going to use a lot, especially in the first chapter, that is in sequences while proving some of the theorems. Archimedean property. Archimedean property says that if A is greater than 0 and B is greater than 0, A and B are two positive real numbers, then for some positive integer n, we have n into A is greater than B. If I take any two positive real numbers as small as possible, if I want to take, I can take 0.1 and this one is 100. Let us take A is equal to 0.1 and B is equal to 100. Means Archimedean property says that there exists a positive integer, means nothing but a natural number. There exists a natural number, one number such that if I multiply to A, that number will be greater than B. That number will be greater than B. Suppose if I take n is equal to, from here I can say that n is greater than B by A. Here we got B is equal to 100 by A is 0.1, which is nothing but 1000. Means therefore n, I can take n any natural number greater than 1000, 1001, 1002, whatever it may be. So let us take n into A. Let us take n is equal to 10,000 and A is equal to 0.1, which is equal to 1000. Clearly it is greater than 100, which is equal to. This is the Archimedean property. Says that if I take any two positive real numbers as small as possible, I will get a natural number, that is positive integer n such that if I multiply to A, this product will be greater than B. This is the Archimedean property we are going to use a lot, this one important property.